Hi everyone, and welcome back to another online Jujitsu class as we now finish out September of these online interactions. As usual, we hope everybody is healthy and safe and managing to stay engaged with your practice. So, let's get ready for class. Walk so. So yame, informal bow, onegaishimasu, and up, and hands on your belt, on your hips, head to the right, ich, ni, san, shi, go, and dai, ich, ni, san, shi, go, head back down, back down, back down, back down, look right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, tilt right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, anywhere you need it. And shoulders forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse, ich, ni, san, shi, go, alternating, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse, ich, ni, san, shi, go, elbows up, back, ich, ni, san, forward, ich, ni, san, forward, ich, ni, san, forward, reverse, ich, ni, san, back, ich, ni, san, back, ich, ni, san, back. Left hammy, left hand on your belt, right hand forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse, ich, ni, san, shi, go, and dai, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse, ich, ni, san, shi, go, and natural stance, both hands in, ich, ni, san, shi, go, out, ich, ni, san, shi, go, left hammy, left hand under your right elbow, right arm in, ich, ni, san, shi, go, out, ich, ni, san, shi, go, shake it in, shake it out, side to side, punch, and dai, in, ich, ni, san, shi, go, out, ich, ni, san, shi, go, shake it in, shake it out, side to side, punch. Natural stance, elbows against your chest, both arms in, ich, ni, san, shi, go, out, ich, ni, san, shi, go, shake it in, out, side to side, double punch. Hips to the right, ich, ni, san, shi, go, and dai, ich, ni, san, shi, go, stretch back, forward, back hands overhead, forward, chest to your right knee, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, left, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, and loosen up, ready for torso rotations to the right, ich, ni, san, shi, go, dai, ich, ni, san, shi, go, and standing split, elbows to the mat, rocking, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, back in your heels, pivot left, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ruk, dai, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, Back to center. Elbows down. Rocking. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Back in your heels again. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Thigh. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. And come up into Shikadachi. Fix anything you need to fix. Elbows, hands on the knees, elbows locked. Hips forward, breathe in. Breathe out. Hips back, breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. Drop your right shoulder, look over your right shoulder at your right hand. Front thigh. Front thigh. Front thigh. And stretch out your right leg for a side kick. And turn your hips forward. And see if you can project your opposite knee past your toes if you can. Front thigh. Front thigh, toes up. Front thigh. Front thigh. Front thigh. Front thigh all the way down. Still pushing out on your knees if you can. Now go as low as you can, but keep your heels on the ground. Thigh. Thigh. And thigh. Now from here we're going to drop our right knee into a hurdler stretch. If your knees aren't great, either don't do this at all or do a modified version where you could have your foot turned out like that as opposed to underneath, and you can move your leg closer in for less stress on the knee. You want to maintain your knees, but if you can do it, great. Pivot towards your left leg, hands even so we reach together. Reach, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Sit up straight, twist right. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Twist. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. And thigh. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Twist. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Twist. And thigh. This time bring the foot in front. Some people find this easier. I find this one more difficult. So again, careful of stressing your knees. Do what you can. What you can do is you can tuck your foot further underneath your leg and just put it on top, and that'll put less stress. Do what you can safely. Again, forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Twist. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Twist. And thigh. And forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Twist. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, catch, ku, ju. Twist. And now both feet in front. Pick them up. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Reach deeper. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Sit up straight, twist right, twist left. Legs apart. Turn right. Again, hands together so you reach evenly. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Sit up straight, turn left, reach left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Center, elbows to the mat, or better. So, like Senpai Mari if you can. Your entire chest on the mat. And back to the right. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Center. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Good. And twist right. Twist left. Bring your feet in again. Right over left. Massage your toes. Ball of foot. Instep and arch. Heel. Fit up your calf. Rotate your ankle. Clockwise, then counterclockwise. Shake, shake, shake. Put the blade of your foot in the crook of your elbow if you can. Cradle. You can rock this baby to sleep. Same hand on the blade of your foot on the outside. Stretch it out. And why not? We might as well bring the other one up in balance. Let go. Bring it in. Slowly down. One thigh. Left over right. Again, massage your toes. Ball the foot. Arch and instep. Heel. Calf. Rotate clockwise, counterclockwise, shake, 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 cradle, rock the baby, stretch, get the other one up, go, bring them together, slow it down. And twist right, twist left, and DMA. Okay, so we're going to do our jackknives. So make sure you have room, and if you can, do the back fall. Otherwise, just get into position for doing jackknives. Ready? Height. Jackknives. Hajime. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk. Sich, hech, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Hands under your butt, scissors, slow and wide, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Leg raises, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Knees to chest, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Flutter kick, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hech, ku, ju. Bring them straight up, feet on your belly. Hands by your cheekbones, slowly down with your legs. And stretch and relax. And loosen up anything you need to loosen up. Okay, bring your right knee in, keep your head off the mat, and compact as small as you can, close to your chest, close to your butt with your ankle, and while you're here, you may as well rotate your ankle both directions. Hook your foot behind your knee, twist, put it down, and try and keep this elbow on the mat this side. So my left elbow is on the mat, my right elbow is on the mat, my right knee is on the mat on the opposite side. And I'm looking to my right. Front thigh, left knee in, rotate the ankle, twist, put it down. Name, both knees in, rocking. Stretch. Heels in, like your butt, bridge. If you can, rocking on your neck. Hands on your shoulders, push all the way up. And yeah, baby. So, just sort yourself out if you need to adjust anything. Next up, we're going to do push-ups, the judo push-ups, the standard ones we do. We're going to start with a face fall. So again, get your space, whatever you need to do that. You're doing the face fall, come into Eizan, and turn your head. Hey. Push-up position, head up, right leg up, down, left leg up, down, head down, back, scoop, back, down, head up, right leg up, down, left leg up, down, head down, back, scoop, back, down, head up, right leg up, down, left leg up, down, head down, back, scoop, back, down, head up, right leg up, down, left leg up, down, head down, back, scoop, back, down, one more, head up, right leg up, down, left leg up, down, head down, back, scoop, back, down and hold it. So keep your elbows tight against your chest. Use your lats to keep yourself up, not your biceps. And just breathe. If you find yourself struggling, you can just do some quick breaths. And stop again, relax. It should be able to last a bit longer that way. But I won't keep you here forever, so let's slow you down. Hands by your sides, relax. On my mark, you're going to get up as quick as possible and be in a defensive position. Hey! And die. And die. And die. And turn around, structure your knee. And fix whatever you need to fix. It's the E or your beard. Okay, left hominy, or come closer to the camera. And Kodagesh. Die. Die, EQ. Die. and thigh, knee Q. And thigh. And thigh, thank you. Thigh, thigh Shihanagi, thigh, thigh, finger wrist stretch. And again, you can play with each individual finger to stretch each tendon one at a time. Thigh. And shake it loose. Okay, so ready for Tai Sabaki. So again, get your space, do whatever you can in terms of being able to go a distance. Left foot forward, hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, look, sich, fetch, Q, Ju, and thigh, hitch, knee, thumb, chi, go, look, sich, fetch, Q, Ju, and thigh. So we're going to do a hitch step pivot with a slow count, which means that we want to try and get distance, pivot all the way, make sure that your OB knot's pointing straight back, shoulders, hips are square, not fighting stance but squared up, and then we hitch step back foot comes with, pivot all the way again. And the same thing with the hands. I'll do the opposite side so you can see on the camera. As we come forward, they're going to cross, or even come up to the opposite ear, if you like to do it that way, and then pop, almost like a strike. You're going to dead stop them the same time that your hip dead stops. So we come in, boom, like that. So that's why we do the slow count, and then we do a fast count afterwards. So left foot forward, left tummy, and slow count, hitch step pivot, hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, rook, sich, fetch, Q, Q, and thigh, hitch, knee, sun, chi, go, rook, sich, fetch, Q, Q, and thigh. So now we're going to do hitch step pivot quickly, so you don't really need to take some distance. It'll be more like we're just trying to pivot quickly. So if you had a long belt like mine, it'll be flying, flying, flying like this. And the same with the hands. 1, 2, 1, 2. Like that. Ready? Left foot forward. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. Dai. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Hach. Ku. And Ju. And yeah, mate, I think I threw in an extra count there somewhere. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole class. I'm not going to do a little bit about how to get up, right? And I've spent extensive times doing this, so I'm going to truncate it to just the two main ones that I like to work on, what to me are the quickest. So, but I'll quickly just go through and demonstrate the different versions that we do, and then we'll just iterate the last one. So if we're on our belly, just like we were earlier after our push-ups. So insteps are flat on the ground, wrists are flat on the ground, head is turned side, flat on the ground, and we want to get up. So say we got knocked down, somehow we fell forward, and we're on the mat like this. So there's different versions of getting up. They all start with putting your hands underneath your shoulders, so elbows in tight, not out like a standard push-up, but more like a karate push-up. So hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to push yourself up, start curling your chest up, bending your back, and feet come into Kiza position. And as you come up, you're going to bring your knee forward, and then bring the other foot between your hands, ball the foot between your hands, and then come all the way up and bring our back foot with you. So that's like the slow version, and if that's all you can do, that's perfectly fine. It tends to have 4 steps in it. When we can actually do quicker than that, so the next quicker version of that is our hands come under, we start to come up, our feet go into Kiza, and as we come up, we just step straight between our hands and bring our back foot in. But the one that I want us to actually practice, if you can, is jumping into position. And we often, when we do this in class, I'll have you start out doing this type of thing. So you can do that last version, and then eventually this type of thing. Or you can just bring your feet underneath you. So the version that, if you can, I want you to try and do is, again, be flat on the ground. Hands underneath, feet in Kiza, push up and just jump in between your hands and come straight up. And in fact I see, and then you want to come to Hominy. So in fact I even slur the last bit, so I'll jump straight into Hominy. So if you could do that, that's even better. So one more time like this before we start doing it. Everything flat, hands underneath, Kiza, and then jump into Hominy and just come straight up. And the hands come up. So it's tiring, so we're not going to do too many of them, especially after the workout we just did. So let's do 10 of them, and if you're going to be jumping into Hominy, swap Hominy, every odd or even one. Otherwise, step from wherever you are into Hominy, odd and even. So ready? Ich. Back. By the way, I punch the mat as opposed to flat hand the mat because my wrists are bad. Ready? Knee. And back. San. And back. And change angle for the camera. Shi. Oops. Not so smooth. And back. Go. back, rock, back, six, back, hatch, back, cool, back, and Jew. And Jeremy. Whatever your way, Uke's in front of you now, right? You want to be able to come up as close to them as possible, so you're coming up them rather than rock back over here. So that's why having the back foot far back is problematic. You want to be able to get in as close as possible. Even backwards headbutt their chin as you come up when you're on your back. So, you know, a lot of people, they'll just roll over onto their belly and they'll get up the way we just did. But if you can, it's really good to be able to do a back roll. And if you can do a back roll, you can do a backwards getting up. So basically, I'm here, I'm fighting, and for whatever reason, something happened, and I got knocked, and I'm back up again. So basically, if you get knocked back down, you should be able to get up that way. So I'm not asking you to do the back roll. I've got two by 1 meter mat, so that's 6'6" square, and I can do it pretty well within that space. But I'm also pretty good at folding up into a smaller ball for the height of me. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start out on the mat. And we're going to do a couple of exercises. So actually let me face this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put our elbows on the ground and use our hands to cup our hips. So we're going to come up like that and just let our hips rest on that. So hold your feet up straight and then do whatever splits, which I can't do very much of. Sideways, back into center. And now we're going to try and touch the mat with our feet, legs straight, and back up, and then open, touch the mat, back up. Now touch the mat with your right leg only, keeping your left leg up, and touch the mat with your left. And what you'll find when you do this is that you have to rotate your hip, so it's not just straight back. Unless you got a really good forward stretch, forward split. So what you do is you rotate your hip and touch. Okay, now left. Now what you're going to do is you're going to bend your knees and try and touch the mat with your knees bent. And back. And then spread them, touch the knees, or touch the mat with your feet with your knees bent. Back to center. And now you're going to do the same thing with one leg and the other leg. And now you're going to straighten back up again and both legs touch on the right. Both legs touch on the left. Bend your knees, both legs touch on the right. Both legs touch on the left. So this is basically how we do this technique. You have to be able to reach and touch the mat with your toe, and then your knee, and then your hand, and then the leg that comes through. So those are just exercises. I'm not going to keep going with them because I want to get to as many techniques today as possible. I've got a couple of other things I want to cover. So we're just going to try it and see how we do with it. So again, I'm going to just sit down or lie down on the mat and hands by my side. And if I want to get up over my right shoulder, I'm going to bring my legs up like this, keep my left foot on the ground, and I'm going to look over my right And as I bring my left foot up, or my right foot up, my left foot is going to follow it. So my right foot comes, and then my left foot stays bent like this. So I'm almost like I'm running. And I'm going to reach over my right, so I get my ball of foot on the ground. And to help me continue, the reason I keep this bent is because now I'm going to straighten it up. And that will pull the rest of my body weight over. I put my back of my wrist on the ground. I put my left hand on the ground, and my swinging leg, that's my momentum to turn me over, is going to come between my hands and come forward, and I come up on that foot and bring my back foot with me. So I know that's a lot of instruction, but it's actually not that hard if you can do the stretch. So again, I'm lying down, and I'm going to go over my right. So I'm going to put both my hands towards my right side, face the right, bring my right leg up, left leg is bent, and as I start losing momentum right there, I'll straighten up the left leg so that it gives me weight past my center of gravity. My right hand is going to go on flat on the mat with the back of the wrist. My left hand goes palm down, and my swinging leg comes between, and I can switch my right hand over into that position and up. So let's do that a few times on the right side. Again, so it's easier to do not breaking it down. So when I do it in fluid motion, it basically looks like this. And both hands go to the right, come up, and I'm through. But we'll do it 2 times broken down, and then we'll do it a couple of times fast. So going to the right, look right, put your right hand flat on the mat, back of your hand, bring your knees in. You can use your left hand, see the way I still have it there? I'm pushing on the mat with my left hand, so that's help stabilizing me and pushing me up. Reach with the right, bring the left leg up straight, hand comes through, knee bends, leg comes through, and we step up. So yeah, that was one thing I forgot to mention. The side that you're not going over, you can leave on the mat and push off with it. It really helps get your hips up, especially if you're doing it slowly broken down. Okay, one more time for the right. So legs come in, right hand goes up beside your head, palm up, and hips come up. Reach with the right, up with the left. Now I can bring my left hand through, drop my knee, and I'm tucking my head to the side obviously so it can slide under and comes through. And up. Alright, so let's do that 2 times quickly, and then I'll have a quick look at you guys and I'm going to switch over to the other side. Ready? Itch. And back. Knee. And back. Generally speaking, you'll probably just favor one side and get really good at doing one side, so it's good to practice the opposite side. That same thing, flat on the mat. This time look left, back hand goes on the mat on the left side. Reach with the left leg, push with the right arm, straighten up the right, bring it through, swing it through so your right is in front, and come up and join it. So I'm bringing my back foot in as I come up. I'm not coming up to here and then shuffling in. So just as I swung my leg through as I turned over, I'm swinging my leg underneath me as I come up. So you can bop, sudden dead stop, everything's in place. Again, look right, backhand, or look left, backhand of the left. Reach with your left, push with your right hand, stretch your right leg out, bring it under, all the way through, come up and bring your foot underneath you as you come up. Okay, let's do it twice quickly. Ready, itch. And back. knee. And good. So on a completely different subject, but could be the reason why you're lying on your back. This time we're sparring. Senpai Lee, meet my uke here. It's basically a heavy bag that I've added articulated arms made out of dowels and foam pads, and it is a handy way of practicing joint locks and positions. So we're imagining this time we're in fighting position, and we're so used to all the versions of coming to the outside, stepping into center, but I just want to practice different versions. For the past couple of weeks we've been doing a lot of stepping into center and doing our koichigari and our oichigari. So I want to just practice a couple of other ways of getting into the center. And if we're starting with our left foot forward, so Uke's left hand is forward, we'll pretend Uke's got a guard. He's very weak today, so his hands are flopping down. So we could just launch ourselves in, like for stepping into center. But stepping into center usually is based on them attacking, and that brings their opposite foot forward, and then we come into that. But in this case, we're just facing off with them, and we want to just go in. It's more of an attack than a defense. We want to just get in there ourselves, so a preemptive defensive attack. But we got to cover this distance, right? Can't reach them, but we can reach them with our leg, right? So the idea here is that we're going to use a front leg mayageri, and just use it as a snap kick. We're not really expecting to do any damage, so we could, extend it really hard. But the problem with extending an opening attack like that really hard is that they tend to just grab it and then you're stuck, right? So what we want to do is we want to snap it and then use the momentum of our dropping leg to come in. And we can do a lot of things from there. But for now we're just going to practice coming in. So left foot fighting stance. So again, not hamni, fighting stance, a little bit wider and a little bit more turned out. Arms are up, elbow is facing our opponent, and we're going to bring our left leg into chamber. So think of touching your elbow with your knee, extending and bringing it back. Let me do that again where I can balance. Come up, extend, bring it back into chamber. So notice that I don't move that much. I rock back a little bit because I have to stand on my rear leg. You want to avoid doing this, and you want to avoid having too big a stance so that when you come into chamber you actually move so much further away that you can no longer reach. So you have to, if you are in a big stance, you bring it underneath before you chamber so you can reach, bring it back, and now I can drop my leg forward to give me my whole body coming in. We don't want to kick and flop our leg down and then end up with this wide stance and having to bring it in. That makes us very vulnerable to being swept on the front foot, and also they can see what's happening, right? They're coming in, right? And half of them are in, I can attack them. So what we want to do is we want to snap it. That just gives them a moment, something to think about, and in that moment we hitch step in. So it's not quite a regular hitch step in that our foot isn't on the ground. It comes down and we push in and it lands with our dead stop right on top. We want to get in, so we're hugging. I can't quite get in because I'd have to go through the bottom of my couch. So let's just do that a bunch of times. Twice just broken down. So chamber, kick, chamber, step in and back, knee, chamber, kick, chamber, step in, and I'm just doing this on the chest, so basically one on each shoulder essentially. You want to stay narrow, so you're trying to come between their guard, right? You might have to move their guard depending on what they're doing. And again, San, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in. And address your uke when you get in. You don't want to be just flat, you want to be towards the 45, facing their chest. Again, shi, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in. And one more like that. Go, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in. Okay, so we'll do the second 5 without breaking it down, so it'll just look like this. And, you know, you're kicking the air, right? So it's okay even in this circumstance. It can be a fake, right? You can just kick and they're going to flinch and then you move in on that. And in a lot of tournament stuff we do like a kick, like a fake kick, and then when they flinch we kick their head or something. So it's okay in this case not to actually make contact. Alright, so ready, 5 at not broken down at speed. Ready, itch, back, knee, and back, san, and back, chi, and back, go, and back. And die. So right foot forward, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in, back, knee, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in, back, san, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in, back, shi, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in, back, oops, carpet. Try not to fight on carpet, it tends to fight you back. Let's go, chamber, kick, chamber, slide in. And now 5 without breaking it down. Ready, itch, and back, knee, and back, san, and back, chi, and back, go, and back. Okay, so I just want to explain there's the difference between like doing it as a snap kick and doing it as a full weighted kick. With the full weighted kick you want to move your hip forward and extend your leg, so you want to get deep into them. It's hard to hold it up in that position obviously. You want to extend into them. With the snap kick you want to bounce off the surface. You don't want to be sliding up, you don't want to be doing that, and you don't want to be sliding down. You want to be extending straight into them and just rock them a little bit. So if you can, you just pop, right? Pop, and move in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to imagine what we would do next, right? Now, because we've been doing all the ichigaris, obviously you could do those. If they are same stance as you, it's not going to be the koichi that's the most obvious, because the koichi would end up being on the back, because you're going to step in and you're going to be here. So, I mean, you could do koichi to their front foot, not cross-stepping in. So you could koichi, or you could oichi their back foot, depending on how deep you get. But we're not going to do that. We're going to follow up with some more strikes. And the most basic, so this can be like in a sparring position if you want to just strike, strike, strike. We don't recommend you end up striking continuously because you just prolong the conflict. So we do want to get in there and throw them or joint lock them or whatever we can, or sweep them. But if you want to add some more strikes into it, this is a way of coming down the center and continuing on with your strikes. So what happens is, as we come in, we can land, as our front foot lands, we can land our jab. So we could easily just go boom, 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 jab, reverse, just like as if we were trading out here, except for we're right inside them, right? So we've taken our distance and we come in and jab and reverse. So again, just we're going to do that each side 5 times. It's not the most important thing, so we're not going to concentrate on it. So we're not going to break it down or anything. So just kick, move in, jab. So again, you want to move in so your jab and your reverse punch are at the correct distance for you. So you might not want to move in too close. Ready? Ready, ich. Ni. San. Shi. Gu. Ruk. Sich. Hach. Ku. And Ju. Actually meant to only do 5. One of the advantages of this, and it can be a jab uppercut, even better, is that if your aggressor is male, they tend to protect their groin. So if you fake a groin kick, they tend to drop their guard and even drop their head a little bit. So you could fake that, come in, boom, boom, and just come up underneath that dropped head. Okay, switch your sides. Same thing, let me move the boots for now. And again, you don't have an uke, so I don't need to use an uke either. So right foot forward, and again, no breakdown, just a count. Ready, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, sich, hach, ku, and ju. With this, the most important factor is actually the jab, right? It would think that the other two are the more consequential, but what's happening here is, let me turn back to left so you can see clearly, is we're basically a distraction and we're body dropping into that jab. So the jab has got our entire body weight on it, and then the reverse is our typical reverse, right? We turn our hip and bring our heel up, and we can drive from the ground all the way in, and we can do a nice heavy that. But the jab, we're dropping into that jab, and that's the one that can probably do the most amount of damage. So we're going to now take advantage of that and go back to what we were doing originally. How are we doing for time? We're good. Is we're going to come all the way in this time, so we're going to not be jab distance. We're going to be as close to the chest as we can get in. And we're going to throw a rear elbow. So we come up, we kick, chamber, and as we come in, we're going to elbow all the way in. Now, you can just go across their chest and grab their arm with the other hand. So if I came in, I could come in like this, and that will be a perfect position for us to then o-ichigari them, because we're all the way in by their back leg and holding onto their rear arm. Or, you know, variations, you could just turn over your elbow and drop them, turn over your elbow and ko-ichigari them. All of that, many possibilities. But what we're trying to do here is just trying to get in, right? So we have our opening, we have our re-chamber, and again we're scooting all the way in. The other hand, the non-elbow hand, is going to be up in guard, and as we come in, we can use that to open up their guard. So if their guard is up like this, we're going to be coming over their front hand, and the rear hand, we can come up between it and move it out of the way with our front guard. So as we're coming in, we're going to chamber, we're going to kick, re-chamber, and we come in, and we can spread them as we throw that. So again, just like in the previous one where we chamber and we land at the same time as their jab lands, now we want to land our elbow at the same time as our body drop dead stops as soon as our foot hits the ground. So it's a big coming all the way from here all the way to there. So you have to boom, and you should end up pretty much in this position because you want to be dropping as much of that body weight in. If you can do that, remember we were doing a lot of scissor lifts last month, if you can come all the way down to here, right, you can drive that elbow all the way through their body and end up with just their spine in front of you and their guts in the air. Okay, that's a little bit of a fantasy, but this is what we're working on. So in the air, it looks like this. We chamber, we kick, we rechamber, we slide in and throw the elbow. And again, the front hand is just going to come out and down like that. So from the front, chamber, kick, chamber, in and drop. Again, chamber, kick, chamber, in and drop. Again, chamber, kick, chamber, in and drop. One more like that. Chamber, kick, chamber, in and drop. And now without the breakdown, ready, itch, back, knee, and back, san, and back, shi, and back, go, and back, rook, and back, sich, and back, catch, and back, ku, and back, ju, and back. Alright, let's switch sides. Left, right foot forward, chamber, kick, chamber, in, elbow. Again, chamber, kick, chamber, in, and elbow. Again, chamber, kick, chamber, in, elbow. Chamber, kick, chamber, in, and elbow. One more like that. Chamber, kick, chamber, in, and elbow. Before we do the 5 at speed or the 10 at speed, your elbow, don't bring it higher than your shoulder. Think of your elbow as an extension of your shoulder rotation. So sometimes when I practice this, just like when I'm doing ippon, right, I'll come like this and I'll grab the other wrist and I'll do my ippon where one hand is pulling the other. It's often a good idea to practice the elbow by grabbing the fist and again just keeping it in front of your body so that it doesn't come out here, it doesn't drop, it doesn't go up. You just pin it to your chest and elbow from there. So if you want to just practice elbows, start with it in essentially chamber, but hold your fist in front of your body, bring it up to elbow height or shoulder height, rotate your whole body and back, and rotate your whole body all the way to there if you can. But in this case, we're not just practicing our elbow throw, we're practicing taking their guard out of our way so the second hand doesn't do that. But just make sure that your hand is essentially doing this when you're doing it. And it comes up to here and then drops down. So it's coming up, across horizontally, and then dropping just as it hits. So the hit isn't landing on top and just driving down, it's landing and kind of scooping them down, right? It's adding, the body weight is coming in and down. Kind of like when we're doing an uppercut, you want to kind of dig in and then come up. If you're doing a body uppercut, same thing here, come in and down. Okay, 5 at speed, right foot forward, ready, itch, back, knee, back, san, back, shi, back, go, back, rook, back, sich, back, hatch, back, ku, back, and ju. I want the elbow to arrive at the same time as the foot. That's the boom, like that. So coming down to your knee works in terms of giving a nice big body drop, but if you're waiting to do that to hit, then you're doing a two-step process. You're doing one, that's your real body drop that you've just lost your advantage from, and now you're adding a different body drop, which again works under various circumstances. But the idea here is that we do it in 1. So the idea here is that we're going to come in, and this time we're going to do a knee. And it can end up being 2 knees depending on what Uke does. The first knee though isn't going to be like the Muay Thai clench to the head that I like so much, right? It's going to be a forward, just like our snap Maegeri. It's going to come forward, so we're going to throw our hip. So we're going to snap forward with this, come in, and you can just grab the shoulders and come straight in with that knee. And the idea here is that they're going to buckle, right? And then we can take the head and throw them or do whatever. Or if you want, snap kick in with the knee, they buckle, we come back, and then we come with a rising knee kick to their chin as we grab their head and do the Muay Thai clench. One of my favorites, right? So, kick, come in, rear knee becomes knee kick. So the front kick gets us in deep enough. We don't have to come all the way in. So this is more like the jab that we were throwing earlier. We can just drop it right here and use that to just get space to come in with that knee. The second knee coming in brings us in the distance, and we can always drop it back and do as many knees as we can. But let's think about it in terms of throwing them. So snap kick, step in, grab the shoulders, buckle them, drop that leg into the cross position for our ippon, or drop in with the elbow underneath for the morote. Right, so ippon seinagi, clip, feet come together, drop turn, morote, cross over, get the elbow under the armpit pretty much is my preferred place. Same position, drop and drive, just like an elbow strike. So let me just do that with the other side so you can see. Snap kick with the right, step in most of the way, cover the rest of the distance with our straight pushing knee, fold their shoulders, drop the knee to the opposite side across the center, drop the hand to their elbow forearm, other hand can stay on the shoulder and come under for morote. If you can't do morote, clip, foot comes in, and we're going to finish our throw. So in the air it'll look like this. I'll do the right side again for the purpose of the camera. Kick, step in most of the way, shoulders, forward knee, drop into the space by their front leg, take their arm, clip, pivot into position, drop a little bit, turn and throw. So just for the purpose of edification, once we, let's start here, we cross step in toe to toe, we clip, we bring both of our heels together and we can go up onto our ball of foot. We want to keep our hands in front of our face, so if we pretend we have a wristwatch on, even though nobody does anymore unless it's a Apple Watch or something, stay looking at your wrist, don't leave your hand behind. Senpai Mari, right? And drop first so that you're below their folding position, then pivot to the opposite knee. Okay, so let's do that broken down. We start with the left foot forward. So left foot chambers, kicks, re-chambers. We step in, not quite so deep. We grab knee with the reverse knee, so the right knee. We drop in to their opposite foot. We clip our morote position, pivot in, and throw. So let me do it from a different angle, so you're not just looking at the reverse of me. Left foot forward, chamber, kick, chamber, come in halfway, shoulders, right knee forward, knee kick, step across, clip the arm, pivot, drop, throw. Again, left, chamber, kick, chamber, come in, shoulders, rear leg, knee, stepping into their, actually we're stepping towards their back leg, I believe, clip their back arm, pivot in. So now we only have to throw them over here, we don't have to bring them all the way over to here because they're off balances that way. So in a way it's an easier throw to do. Okay, so let's do that without the breakdown. Ready, itch, and back, knee, and back, sun, and back, she, and back, and go, and back. We don't want to be the zombie horde like attacking them like this, right? So you're going to be in guard, you're going to snap kick, you're going to come in, and as you're bringing your knee up, you reach and pull them into your knee. So don't come in like this because they'll see it coming and they'll just, you know, knock you out. So you want to be coming in, they don't know what you're going to do, they might be expecting this, and then boom. So think of it as I'm coming in and I'm just going to jump like that. Drop kick. Right, drop your hands onto them and kick. Right foot forward and chamber, kick, chamber, come in, grab, knee, step across and throw. Again, chamber, kick, chamber, come in, grab shoulders, knee, step across, heel to heel and throw. One more time like that. Chamber, kick, chamber, stepping in, shoulders, knee, step across, clip, heel to heel, throw. Okay, and now without the breakdown, ready, itch, and back, knee, and back, sun, and back, she, and back, go, and back. And a couple of points. One is that all of these sort of techniques flow together. So you want to kind of set up a rhythm. And it's useful to think of the rhythm in terms of your breath, right? So we've got an out breath for the kick, and then another out breath for the knee, and then a step in and a breath for the throw. And you can have incremental breaths in between depending on what it is. Like you can go like, so like a small out breath and followed by a big out breath for the 1-2 punch. So the same thing here, you could go, right, you can do little breaths. And you can use those, so especially if you're a musician or drummer, so Nick, I know you're a drummer, I do both. I tend to make melodies and rhythms out of these things. So when I'm doing something like this, I'll go, da ha, do ha, da da da. And I'll just be saying this in my head over, and I might have different sounds. So it could be do shi, da ha, and like that. And so I'll turn that into a song, and it makes me remember and get into the rhythm. So I'll just go da 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 da, right? And each song or each phrase of a song can help get it into your memory, as well as get it into your body muscle memory by repeated action. And you put the two together, and you end up, you know, having a song and a dance, right? Right? If you ever worked with Sensei Coleman, that's also one of his methods, and it's very handy. It's a good way of, like a mnemonic for remembering your sequences. Okay, so we've only got a few minutes left. We'll do a quick aerobics and stretch and call it done. So let's do some jumping jacks. So get your space, Hopefully your neighbors underneath won't complain. Ready, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, and ju. And you may twist right, left, right, left. One more physical exertion. We're going to do some knee raises and then we do some stretches and call it good. So again, fists by your cheekbones. If you're not used to doing this, whenever you bring your hands up, touch your cheeks. It's okay, they're your own hands, as long as you haven't been touching COVID surfaces. Touch your cheeks, it's okay, that way you know they're located there. Elbows not out, elbows in, and when you bring your knees up, you can just spread your elbows a little bit, or just, the correct position is actually here, so out from your face a little bit, elbows in front of your shoulders, turn slightly so that you're in a defensive position, protecting yourself with your elbow. So we go 1, 2, we're going to start natural stance just so we don't have to keep changing stance. So square up, elbows, fists by cheekbones, and we just go left and right like that. So I'm going to do it like this, then like this, then like this, just for the camera. Ready, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju. Continue, keep your back straight. Try not to lean into them, but to bring your knees up to your chest. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, and ju. And yeah. So the advantage of being able to do this, so notice like we have talking about chambering by touching your elbow, but if you can go past your elbow, you can get uke under the chin without having to bring them down too much. Bring them down a lot, sometimes make you go back, then you can't reach as much because you're kind of folded. So if you can stay upright and bring them down and then reach them from there, it's very handy. You can come in, grab them, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Okay, so let's come into Shikadach. Drop your butt, elbows on your knees. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. Straighten up both your legs. Chest to your right knee. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju. Left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju. Back down. Walk your feet in a little bit, whatever you need to be able to drop into a squat while keeping your heels on the ground. If you need to put your hands on the mat, do so for stability. Drop your right knee, touch the mat. Come back up, drop your left. Come back up. And both hands on the mat. Drop your knees in. Come into Eizan. Make a V with your hands on the mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide forward, trying to keep our butt on our heels while putting no weight on our hands. So imagine my hands are just floating above the mat and coming forward as far as we can while still keeping the butt down. It's difficult. It's a belly muscle and back muscle combo exercise. And when it gets to the point where you start coming up, then you can just start slowly putting weight on your hands and try and come as far forward as you can, fold as much as you can, and reach as far as you can, all the while maintaining your contact between your butt and your heels. And just relax into that position. And come up. I'm going to move forward so I can go back. Now I'm going to just separate out my heels a little bit so my butt can drop between my heels. And I'm going to come back and reach back. And come up. Twist right, left, right, left, and yame. And that's it. So we're just going to moxo and finish up. So moxo. So yame, in follow bow, arigatou gozaimashita. And thanks again for joining me. I hope to see you next time.